Yesterday, Wanjigi visited Rigathi at his Wamunyoro residence, as you can see in these images. Now in this video, let us look at some of the reasons why the duo met, and so with no further ado, let's get after it. Number 1, Jimmy Wanjigi has been trying to live the Trump dream for years, whereby a never-before-elected billionaire suddenly becomes president of an entire republic. But unfortunately for Jimmy, Kenyans are not Americans. We only elevate those who've been tried and tested. So long story short, I suspect Jimmy went to go see Rigathi to see if he can get backed by the United Opposition so he can go for a more realistic seat like governor of Kiambu. Because Gachagua has openly expressed interest in sanitizing the entire Kiambu county government. In fact, here's a tip.
And you guys have a job to do. You must help our community. Pahali operation fagilia inatakikana ni Kiambu. Kisema harambe mnasema fagia. Harambe. Wasaliti wote. Ichungwa. Wamachukuru. Kirago. Kahangara. Kagombe. Kururia. Kingara. Kaiburi. Alisinganga. Kawanjiko. Tufagie tusifagie. Wamurana Wamuchomba pahali iko kasi ya kufagia ni Kiambu, si ndio? Pahali inataka kifagio ile kali ni Kiambu, na si nini mtafanya?
I for one have no problem if Gachagua endorses Wanjigi for any position in this republic, so long as he dumps his Safina party and moves to DCP, failure to which no one should trust him. The lesson we've learned in politics: if you are both heavyweights of the same caliber, you cannot be in the same party. You should both have your party. But if you are above the other, huyu mwenye ako chini anafaa ingie chini yako. Can a man marry a woman and she still retains her names while still claiming to be his wife? It's unheard of. So if Jimmy Wanjigi wants Gachagua's endorsement for anything, let him abandon that Safina party, aingie DCP na tutampea tick. Number 2, from where he sits, Rigathi Gachagua did not look for Jimmy Wanjigi. No, not at all. It is Jimmy Wanjigi who looked for Rigathi Gachagua. Why so? Because Jimmy is the one who was painted as a mole the other day. So he needed to urgently beat the bad press that he was getting. So this visit was just a desperate attempt to rescue his lost aura. And I for one wouldn't buy into it even for 1 second, especially since this is what Jimmy Wanjigi was saying about Rigathi Gachagua just 1 week ago, 7 days, ambayo imepita. Roll the tape.
Rigathi Gachagua has, over the last 1 year or so, done a lot of damage to William Ruto's name in the region he talks called Mulima. And he has focused on personality politics. It is between him and William Ruto. Okay? Whether it's motivated by the fact that he was kicked out or whatever it is, right? He has done serious damage to William Ruto. My only problem with his kind of politics is that, to me, that is legacy politics. The politics of tribe coming together and all those things, I think Kenyans should start showing a graduation from a template.
And now suddenly he sees value in Gachagua. Let's not be slow. This man is trying to stay relevant, and for now it has worked. But if the people don't feel the consistency from him, then I guess he'll be done. For a while, he's going to be done. Number 3, I've seen a lot of Kenyans getting excited that Jimmy has brought a lot of money to Wamunyoro and DCP. To which end, all I can say is, I doubt that's the case. Especially after hearing this from Edwin Sifuna.
Nikamwambia niko kwa shimo kabisa, sina hata bob. Hiyo siku, unajua mtu alikuwa amekaa kwa kiti kama wewe hapo. Jimmy Wanjigi, anajua.
No.
I'm telling you. Akaniambia pesa. That's why I'm here, Sifuna.
Hey.
Na ukisikia Jimmy Wanjigi, huyo mtu kitu unajua juu yake ni
money. Jesus Christ.
Nikasema now we are talking.
Hadi shida ya 3 ikapotea.
Shida ya 3 nikamwambia ndio nipate a good chance ya kushinda, muambie coalition partners pia wasisimamishe candidate mwingine. Akasema hiyo tutamaliza. Boss, si Wanjigi amesema nitengeneze budget, nikaenda kukaa na timu yangu. Magari, billboard. Kakuja 45 million. Hapo ndo najiuliza na 45 million ni kidogo kwa Wanjigi. Sisi tuongeze, acha tu round off kwa 50. Tuka round off kwa 50.
Akapatia 70.
Boss, pelekanga hiyo proposal, hiyo budget kwa hiyo restaurant yake kwa Caramel.
Caramel hapo ABC.
Hapo ABC Place. Kaniambia, sawa, let's work on it, but in the meantime, chukua hii ya mafuta, katoa 100k. That is the last time. that is the last time nilisikia kutoka Jimmy Wanjigi.
So all those theories about Wamunyoro being up by a couple billions, nada. Crumble it up and throw that narrative in the trash can. Jimmy Wanjigi went for a photo op. He got it, and in due time, he'll be back to his old ways of lecturing opposition leaders while painting himself as a saint. Because, sometimes to predict someone's future, you have to study the past. You cannot ignore the past. In the recent past, ameongea mbaya kuhusu Gachagua. Kalonzo brought a supplementary budget. Jimmy Wanjigi went live to attack it, instead of calling him and ironing it out one-on-one over a phone call. When Sifuna needed him financially, he was unavailable. Alimpea 100k na kupotea. He used to work with Raila, suddenly he dumped Raila. I was even thinking in 2022, after dumping Raila and showing that he has his own presidential ambitions, that he would eventually work with Ruto. But no, Jimmy has always been a loner. At this juncture, we don't need a loner anywhere in the united opposition, starting with the likes of Caleb Amisi. Jimmy Wanjigi, there is hope, but he needs to seriously convince me personally by watching what he says when he gets on stage. If I hear him going after Kalonzo's dream, Matiangi's dream, that's messed up. That is not someone we need. We need a team player, someone who will hold the fort even when they are not the presidential candidate. Even when they are not the deputy presidential candidate, they still see a need to stand with the cause. Like Kalonzo did with Raila. Can you imagine going from deputizing Raila to watching Raila pick Martha Karua as his running mate, but you're still supporting that group? We need somebody like that. But anyway, that's just my take, guys. Let's head on over to X to see what other Kenyans of goodwill have to say about this. And I quote, Paul O. Nico said, "Be very careful wherever you see Jimmy Wanjigi. The last time I saw him at the center of major political events, former President Uhuru Kenyatta had secretly met Raila Odinga at his house. That meeting eventually gave birth to the handshake government. I have seen his recent remarks attacking Kalonzo Musyoka. My message to him and his supporters is simple. 2027 is about the people. You are either with the people or against them. At this point, I would not be surprised if one day we woke up to hear that William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua had met through Jimmy Wanjigi. Kenyans are not stupid. We are watching closely. The era of backroom political deals is facing a public that is more alert, more informed, and far less willing to be taken by surprise. Ruto must go." Neanderthal Man said, "Wanjigi has a lot of facts on ODS debt, but he has already dined with the hyenas. He can't suddenly become so clever." Stephen Kagandwa Falme said, "That conversation must have been heavy from the house to the field." Pixley said, "I have a reserved feeling that Jimmy is Ruto's broker on duty. I foresee Ruto Gachagua handshake by March 2027. But what say you guys? Do drop me your comments in the section below and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. So with that, here today's ads the day. Interior design is one of those things you can't afford to get wrong. So if you're looking for experts to do your gypsum, wainscoting, paintwork, tiles, washrooms, and kitchen, reach out to Dhaka Living on 0706 026 218. That's 0706 026 218. If you're in need of electrical wiring, solar installation, or electrical fittings such as strip lights, snake lights, downlighters, or chandeliers, contact Engineer Wycliffe at 0707 476602 and he'll get your house dapped up. If you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really, really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.